Hello everyone, Drew Wilson of Your Era Gamer here. Today we are traveling to the year of 2018. This is when the Xbox One game Forza Horizon 4 was released. This is one of the more recent entries to this Forza spin-off franchise. So, I've got 10 minutes on the clock. Let's give this game a try. So, I managed to finish playing Forza Horizon 3, and probably not a surprise, it was a fantastic game. I really liked it. So, as you can tell, I'm really excited to try this one as well because this franchise seems to be on quite the roll. And yeah, okay, an interesting mechanic. One thing I will note is that the intro race, where it kind of on the previous game where it switched between vehicles, none of the other races did that. It was just like an intro only deal going on there. So, whoa. Okay. I'm not sure why they switched vehicles in that intro race, but yeah, so far we'll see if this race does that. One thing I will note right away is the interesting aspect of how this game seems to be incorporating seasons. So fall was there, now I'm in winter for some reason. Okay, so I will be taking on this particular vehicle. So there is definitely some different methods of different things of traction, or different types of traction to note in this game, which is interesting. And the flares are back again. Flares were used in the previous game to denote like checkpoints, but in street races only. They had those Forza flags waving around as checkpoints for the official races, and then the unofficial ones were all these little flare things. So it's interesting that starting with flares, and those flares are red instead of blue. It's just kind of interesting. And I do notice that the opponents have the D icon. That's a recurring theme. Essentially, opponents in this game are called drivatars. And in the previous game, it was drivatars are basically the profiles of other players, whether active or not. And then you have computer players simulating that actual drivatar. And now we have spring. Okay.
Alright guys, this'll be easy. Just don't miss the checkpoints and let's go.
Cool. It looks like they're carrying smoke bombs, I think. I think that's what they'd be called, smoke bombs. So I was going to call them flares, but they're not flares. Flares don't do that. Colorful, to say the least. Yeah, and those checkpoint flags, yeah, that was the little Horizon flags that I remember seeing in the previous games. So those are definitely making a turn. Very interesting intro so far. One thing that has been a common theme for previous Forza games And I'm pretty sure it will be the same thing here, but when you take air like that, you normally get like skill points for that. But the exception here is the intro races, and I have a feeling that will be introduced later on. Because skills weren't a thing before. Skill points were kind of disabled in the intro races in previous games, so probably gonna be the same thing here. Well, we are now on the last season, I'm assuming.
Horizon. We are kicking off the summer season with the greatest race of all time. Point yourself in the direction of Horizon and put your foot down. First to the festival wins. So let's go.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it. The Jets aren't in the race. They're just happy to be here.
Yeah. I think that's a reference to showcase races where you race different vehicles. Sometimes you get planes, sometimes you get boats and stuff like that, so you end up racing that.
Lining the streets to get a load of the action. Cheer these racers on, guys. Come on.
Alright. Just noticed that there's a Dravatar that just parked there. I'm assuming joining the race. Okay.
Some racing trucks out there too. The most incredible hyper are all here. I can see
By hitting those barriers, under normal circumstances, that would give you, I'm assuming, wreckage bonus, which is also adds to your skill points.
I mean, the car, sure, but someone's got to be handling that thing. Final straight.
All right. Cool. I think that's the intro race right there. And that will give me the achievement of arrive at the Horizon Festival. You know what's weird is that when you look at statistics of different players and stuff like that, like what percentage of players get certain achievements, like a lot of these, there's almost always these achievements where it's like you complete an intro or you complete like the first little bit, and it's shocking the percentage of people don't get that first achievement, which means they didn't even bother racing. Just figuring out which one I want. It was somewhat similar to the avatar I had before. I will change to the sure.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Kira, director of the festival.
So yeah,
Looks like you've made a good impression with our talent scouts.
This one might have
my understanding of this game, I don't know much yet, but this is going to take place in Britain, interestingly enough.
I remember my
And you could probably tell by the sheep and stuff like that that, yeah, it's definitely a Britain thing.
You two to get set up for the first race. Good luck.
Even if it's stereotypical.
which one will it be?
So we get our intro. Not much in the way of statistics, but you know, I'll just for variety.
Right choice as well. We'll talk all about why later. Right now, we need
In the last game, vehicle statistics didn't really matter much because when you get into an actual race, different opponents synchronize, quote unquote, with your vehicle. So basically, they'll get upgraded or whatever.
Put a personalized number plate. Go on, be creative.
Yeah, it's not going to be very creative. Okay. And let's see how fast I can get this done. Sure. So you got the vanity plate already. Cool. Not as, quite as much
I
customization.
expect you'll want to get a feel for your new car. So I've signed you up to some events to get you started. See you
Cool.
there.
And because I'm here, just gotta take a quick breeze through what the map looks like, and that is definitely a nice chunk of map, that's for sure. A lot of countryside there, but yeah, that's quite a bit. Cool. Yeah, so far this definitely has the look and feel of a standard Forza Horizon game. There's your skill points, and I'm surprised that didn't count as a lucky escape there, but that's okay. I am going to try and, there you go, new PB 520. Now you'll notice if I hit something that it will disqualify me, but for every skill I add, it adds the multiplier, and that counts as a chain, so it is really important to try and get the combinations going. I'm curious what sort of, okay, it's not gonna really show me, unfortunately. Oh well. Yeah, basically basically you're working up skill chains and you get bonuses for that sort of thing. And of course, the longer the chain, the better. The game will eventually cap out in the multiplier, and I don't know what the cap is in these games. I know there's probably going to be perks that'll increase the cap, and then increase the actual rate at which it goes up. So I noticed that it was going up by 0.1% of a or 0.1 times multiplier, and that is generally quite slow, but you can work up better, faster skills, chains, and that sort of thing. This is just working off of my previous knowledge of, or my knowledge of the previous Forza Horizon games. Yeah, so definitely an interesting game so far. I know I haven't really experienced that much. Oh, and this road discovery, you'll notice that roads are gray, but the one I drove on was white, so that means that's a road I discovered, just in case you're wondering. But enough about me. I'm just curious what you thought. What did you think of this game so far? Like, what did you think of the game when you played this? Was this a really good game, or did you have preferences for other Forza Horizon games? Let me know. And for those of you who haven't played this game but maybe played other Forza Horizon games, what did you think of what you saw so far? Does this look like a kind of an interesting game to play? Is this one of those games that you kind of wanted to play but you haven't gotten a chance to yet, and now you're kind of limited in opportunity and you have to pick up a disc for that? But yeah, let me know in the comments below like what you thought of it, if this looks like a good one or not. And for those of you who haven't played any Forza games at all, does this look like a game that might be of interest to you? Does this look like a kind of a fun-looking game, or is this more maybe not your style necessarily? Maybe you're not even into racing games. Maybe you like racing games, but you prefer a less arcadey look. For sure, let me know in the comments below what you thought of what you saw here. So I guess that is all for now, and until next time, what is your era?